It's 7 on Sunday, 7 on Sunday, 7 on Sunday! I'm so keen, it's the first one of the year! So guys, this is the first 7 on Sunday of 2021 and I am just beyond excited. We have got some good themes this year. But there is also 2 weeks that I'm actually not going to be doing in this month because I don't read graphic novels very often. I've only read 3 in my lifetime, so that will not help me make a video to do 7 that I'd recommend if I've only read 3. But also, I have no plans on reading new ones, so I can't really talk about the ones that I'm excited for. I'm really sad that I'm going to be cutting my perfect streak of doing every single video, but what can you do if you can't recommend or talk about the theme? So I'll be doing the videos for the 3rd, the 10th and the 31st, so I will probably just bring out some other things in that time that will just guide me over. But today I'm excited because we're going to be talking about our 7 most anticipated reads for the whole entire year. And I know a few days ago I just uploaded a video about my anticipated reads for January, February and March of the year, but this video is more about the ones that I'm just so absolutely excited for that I have no chill. Like the 3-month videos are going to be so many books, but this one is 7, so this is the elite of the elites. And I'm also not mentioning anything I mentioned in that last video. I'm excited for those books, but these ones just take the cake and I am keen to get into this. And also to say, this is just an elite year of book releases because there are so many books coming out from authors that I've read before that I'm really excited to read more books for them. But there's also sequels coming out and conclusions to things and to new things, and there's just so much, and I'm just so keen. It was very hard to make this list, but let's get into it. So the first book I want to mention is The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson, and this comes out on the 27th of April. So this is a standalone novel that still follows Stevie from the Truly Devious trilogy. So that trilogy is over, but now we've got Stevie doing a new case, which I'm just very keen about because Truly Devious was such a good trilogy and I was so hyped every time a new book came out, and it honestly ended so well and I really enjoyed it. But now we're going to see Stevie being all smarty smarts again, but there is a murder case, which is the box in the woods, and I'm assuming they probably killed people and put them in a box, which is kind of freaky. But it happens at this camp and now weird shit is happening again, subtle weird shit, weird messages, and there's boxes kind of everywhere with weird dolls in them, and Stevie goes to work at the camp and she's going to help work the case. And I definitely think this is only going to be standalone, not a series, but also Nate and Janelle and other characters are going to come back into it, and I'm keen. I really liked the friendship dynamic in this book and it just looks so good. Next, I have to talk about One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, which comes out on the 6th of May. My god, I've been hyped for this book since it was first announced because Red, White and Royal Blue was one of my favorite books of 2019. And honestly, I'm so keen for another romance, and this seems like it's going to be really good because it's got a time travel element and they meet on a train. So I'm pretty sure one girl is from our time and the other one's from the 90s. I haven't read the synopsis for a while, but I also know that I don't really need to read the synopsis because I'm hyped. I'm hyped for this. They are an amazing author and I am just keen for this, and I just want to see some cute romances. And I also like that, you know, we got the gay love story in Red, White and Royal Blue, and now we're going to have a lesbian love story, which I think is just really good because diversity. Of course, I have to talk about Heartstopper Volume 4 by Alice Oseman, which comes out on the 13th of May because we're going to get some real deep shit happening in this book because at the end of Volume 3 we've gotten some information about Charlie that I think is going to be really sad to have to see Charlie deal with, but also Nick deal with, but also through the 2 novellas of Dick and Charlie in this winter we kind of get some information on this. And I'm pretty sure Solitaire would have information on this too, so I don't know if I really should mention what it is. I'm sure people are going to know about it, and I mentioned it in my vlog, and then afterwards I was kind of I don't know if that was a really bad spoiler, but I think this is going to be really good, and it's also just the cutest little story ever. I love these boys with my whole entire heart, and every time I get a new volume I'm pretty sure it adds years to my life. So I love them. Okay, next, I am so keen for Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which comes out on the 25th of May. And I have seen people hyped about this book, but no one is mentioning that this main character is Mick Rivera's daughter, who was one of Evelyn Hugo's 7 husbands. Why is no one making this connection? I'm sure people know about this, but he was the rock star dude that she had to get married to as the publicity stunt. Why is no one mentioning this more? And this book takes place in one night, and it's at this party, and all the Rivera families there, and they're all famous people except for the daughter, and it seems shit just gets worse and worse and worse in this one night. So a 24-hour book got famous characters from other books, and just I am keen. Like, this is gonna be really good. And like, I still need to read Daisy Jones and the Six though. Did Evelyn Hugo ever mention Daisy Jones and the Six? Because that'd be really cool, because then it'd be like, oh, you know, there's this band that I saw. I'd be like, what? Like, that would be really cool. But I need to read that book, and then I'll read this book, but I'm very keen. Okay, next I'm really hyped for 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim, which comes out on the 6th of July. And this is like a prequel to Spin the Dawn. You get a heap of information in this story in Unravel the Dust, because they mention this like legend story from like a gazillion years ago, even though Eden was all like, I met her, so I'm going to be looking for Eden in 6 Crimson Cranes. This is a very difficult title. It's like a tongue twister, because you're like, 6 Crimson Cranes, 6 Crimson Cranes. Like, that's hard, but I am very keen. And it's also giving me Swan Princess vibes, but instead of turning into swans, her brothers turn into cranes, and then she has to make all the cranes. But she is like a legend, and they mention her a lot, as I've said. But I'm very keen. And like, how gorgeous is the cover though? Like, this is fucking beautiful. And I am just keen. Like, I have no words. I'm so excited. Next, I have to talk about Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mehurin, which comes out on the 3rd of August, because of course I'm hyped for the 3rd book in the Serpent and Doves trilogy. Like, why would I not be hyped? I am so keen, because the last book left on some difficult shit, and I'm very keen to see what they're gonna do. And I don't really know how it's gonna end, but stuff is aligning, and I'm keen. And I have to be vague because it's the 3rd book, but if you don't know about Serpent and Dove, it's about Lou and Reed, and Lou is a witch and Reed is a witch hunter, and then they have to get arranged marriage because like some bad shit happens, and then they fall in love. So that is basically the story, and it's like a very good hate to love romance. I highly recommend it. And I know the 2nd book is kind of boring and not the best thing ever. I still really enjoyed it, but I have like no words. Like, I'm getting to the end of the video and now I'm like so excited. And the last one is a book I've been waiting for a long time, and that is The Heart Principle by Helen Huang, which comes out on the 17th of August. And like, we're finally getting Kwan's book. Like, I've known about this book since I read The Bride Test back in 2019, and this book was meant to come out in 2020, but then Helen Huang got a lot of negative reviews for the 2nd book, and that really hurt her like mentally, so she decided not to write the book and take a break for a while. And it's very hard though, because I totally understand her not liking the negativity, because it can be very harmful when people say horrible things to you, and you've got to try and deal with that. But also, if you're going to become an author, you got to kind of know that there's going to be people that aren't going to like your books, and you really shouldn't go looking for negative reviews. So it's a very hard one there, but I am just keen because we're getting Kwan's book. And also the main character in this one, the female, is actually going to have OCD, not autism, which I also think is going to be very interesting, because she writes autism so well because the author is actually autistic herself. So it's going to be very interesting to see her take on his OCD character. And oh, she's such a great author. I really enjoy her stories, and I think this is going to be like a really fun romance, and I am just hyped. That is all the things that I'm like super duper excited about, but I'm still going to release like my 3-month anticipated videos over the course of the year, and these will pop up again because I'm obviously going to mention them in the months that they're actually coming out. I'm so excited now. Like, I love talking about anticipated reads, and like all these things are coming out, and I'm just so keen, so keen. But anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!